Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another quick take Ask a Lawyer edition. I don't know why I said it like that. Ask a Lawyer edition. So this one was once again highly requested, and it's in relation to Meghan Markle's attempt to trademark the word archetypes after choosing it as the name for her podcast, which confuses me because I thought it was called Meghan. That's how it was marketed, but I guess they've changed it, which is fine. So amongst many other news articles, I found this one by Sky News, which announces her application, which was made on the 26th of March, so not that long ago. And as you can see here, it says in this article, and I'm here to debunk certain things, and I wish that news outlets would have lawyers read through their publications before they're published or their articles, so that they can correct silly mistakes and false information, honestly, that would mislead the public. Because from what I'm going to read to you here, you would think she'd own the word, which is what a lot of you think. And that's why you're concerned. And you asked me what I think about her application to trademark the word archetypes. Well, I'm here to clear things up, but let's see what Sky News and others have to say. So essentially here they say, if the Duchess of Sussex is successful in her attempt, it will ban anyone else from using the word in any goods, such as downloadable music files, CDs, audio discs, and MP3s, featuring podcasts, audio programs, and audio books. Now let me clarify one thing. Even if a word is a commonly used word, such as archetypes, when someone files to trademark the word, they don't own the word. They only own it as far as it's connected to the business or, the product or the service that they are associating that word with. So Apple is a very famous example. Apple is obviously an incredibly generic word. We're all allowed to use it. The company doesn't own the word Apple. Apple doesn't go around suing every individual or business that uses that word. Now, if a business operating in the exact field that Apple is operating in calls its business Apple, then that is a violation of the trademark, because it will take away that unique identifier that consumers know the company by. So it's the name of the organization, Apple. If another business in the technology field were to operate using that name, that would be misleading. And it would also be potentially passing off as Apple, taking advantage of an already established company to lure customers in and make profits and compete directly with Apple. So the word Apple is not owned by Apple. It is only owned as far as naming a technology company, Apple. And here, what Sky News gets wrong is not only insinuating that she will own the word and ban anyone else from using the word. All she will be able to do if this goes through is ban competing businesses in the audio field. So in podcasts or, I don't know, maybe audiobooks. I'm not sure. I think that's still different because an audiobook is still a book. It's not a podcast. And of course, if someone wanted to write a book and call it Archetypes, they should be able to, because it's a concept, right? The word archetypes is a concept. It's an actual area and word that is generally used and has been used in the English language for the past 500 years. So if someone wanted to write a book about a concept that just exists, right, they can still do it. Meghan can't stop them from writing about the idea and the subject of archetypes. What she can do, if this succeeds, her trademark application, is stop a competing podcast from naming itself Archetypes, because that's the same as Apple stopping a competing technology company from naming itself Apple. It's a way for her listeners to identify her podcast. Another area that Sky News gets it completely wrong is this paragraph here where they say she could face a legal battle if she wants to persist with the trademark, with news.com.au reporting it could be knocked back due to a skincare and cleaning company business called Archetypes already owning a trademark for the word. But you said it yourself, it's a skincare and cleaning company. There is no scope for confusion. There's no scope for... Imagine, I mean, I don't know if there are people out there who would think, oh, Meghan owns that cleaning and skincare company because it's called Archetypes. The word archetypes, or archetype in its singular form, existed 500 years before she was born, roughly. So, you know what I mean? That's not how the law works. That's not how intellectual property law works. Having said that, if someone out there who specializes in intellectual property law would love to chip in, please feel free to do so in the comments section. You know, I joined the military and specialized there as soon as I became a lawyer. So this is not my area. However, as lawyers, we are equipped with tools and skills to go research the law and update ourselves, which is what I've done in this situation. All right, so I've explained why she will not be owning the word, because that's not how trademark or intellectual property law works. Unless you invented a word. Now, if you completely came up with a word by yourself, that's a different story. Here we're talking about commonly used phrases. Is there a chance that her application might fail and the United States Patent and Trademark Office rejects it? I had a look at the actual United States Patent and Trademark Office website, and they have a section called Common Problems. You can see mistakes or issues that would prevent an application from going through successfully. One of them is if, for example, in Meghan's instance, another podcast already operates under that name. That would be a reason that it would be unsuccessful, because she would essentially be violating their trademark in that instance. Another one is if your trademark is generic, and that means it's the common everyday name for your goods or services. So in Meghan's instance, if she called her podcast, then that would be a generic term. And in fact, someone did try to trademark the word podcast back in 2007, and they failed because it's a generic term. You know, everyone's got a podcast, so you can't just trademark that name and prevent all your other competitors in the podcast realm from using that word. It's like you see here on the official USPTO website. Imagine a company that sells 100% cotton t-shirts trademarks the term 100% cotton tee. Well, what are the competitors going to do? It's going to be impossible for them to describe their 100% cotton t-shirts as 100% cotton t-shirts. So you can see here, there are many limits to owning a trademark or to filing a trademark. Now, the only one that I could see as potentially stopping Meghan from successfully filing this trademark is that the trademark is a commonly used phrase. So your trademark is likely to be refused registration if it's a phrase or slogan used in everyday speech to express an ordinary concept or sentiment. Now, archetypes is an ordinary concept, you know, as I said. But do I think that it will be turned down for that reason? The thing is, if she's using it just to identify her podcast amongst all the other podcasts out there and to prevent other competitors from using that name so that she is the only one with a podcast that is called Archetypes, then the trademark technically shouldn't fail because, as I mentioned earlier, she doesn't own the word. Other people in the podcast realm can discuss the concept of archetypes without Meghan being able to lawfully claim that they're violating her trademark because they're not passing off as her or her podcast. They're discussing the notion of archetypes. So if she just wants to secure the name, in the realm of podcasts, I don't see why it should fail. I think the Sky News and other news outlets of the world have unfortunately spread this false notion that she wants to own the word, and regardless of what she wants, that she will be allowed to own the world, the world, wow. Well, we know she wants that, but she'll be allowed to own the word and then stop anyone else in any other area from being able to use it. That's false. Even if she wants to do that, even if that's what she sets out to do, or if that's her intention, the law doesn't allow for that. That's why I pulled up the official website for you and showed you examples of when trademark applications will fail in certain instances. I hope this clears up the question for you, and let me know if you have any more questions. Just bear in mind that not everything you read in news outlets is accurate, verified, proofread. I mean, this is an example, of when these situations are falsely reported on. The gist or the summary is trademarks exist for you to be able to uniquely identify your goods and services that you provide or that your business provides. And so that other competitors being the key word, not just some other business that has no business with your business, will be stopped from taking advantage of your name or trading under the same name in the same industry. So if you're in a different industry that has nothing to do with podcasts, you can name your company Archetypes and you can trademark it in that specific industry. For example, in skincare, the company that Sky News referred to that is already trading under that name can use the trademark that it secured to stop any other skincare company from operating under that same name. Now, they can't stop Meghan Markle from calling her podcast Archetypes. In fact, they probably wouldn't want to. It's only going to get more attention to their company, if you ask me. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you all so much for sending through your questions. I do rely on them to make quick takes nowadays because, as you all know, I'm pursuing a Master of Science degree, and I don't have enough time to be on the lookout for topics. So please keep the suggestions coming in. They really help to keep the channel active and alive in between podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the love that you've shared with us, especially in connection to the latest podcast that we released on Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Your comments have been really interesting, and keep them coming. I will catch you guys in the next one.